Hello there. Welcome to Grandma Ray Don't Play. And how are you today? Okay, so I want to talk to you about what has changed since the epidemic that has plagued us nationwide that started in March, and this is now July 2020. Okay, you can get a haircut now, which is great. All of us was looking kind of wild with the hair growing everywhere. Now you can go and get a haircut. They still can only have so many people in at a time, but at least you can make an appointment and get that done. I remember in the beginning of this, a barber had his chair outside on the sidewalk. I don't know how that worked for him, but he was cutting hair out on the sidewalk. Okay. You can find sanitizers now in the stores. It is 3 times the price that it normally is, but you can find hand sanitizer, so that's really good. I remember we was going crazy. I went from store to store to store trying to find hand sanitizer until I said forget it, and I made my own. Okay. Banks, you can now make an appointment to go in. I remember when I had to wait in a line for 2 hours to go to the bank, to the drive-through teller. That was horrible, horrible. But now you can make an appointment to go to your bank. No long grocery store lines anymore. Thank goodness. Okay. Because that was really something. I dread going to the grocery store, but the lines did move pretty fast, and just that you did have to go through that process. So right now I don't see where there's any more lines. I went to several stores in the last couple of days. Some returned to work and some didn't. Some returned to work, which helped with the unemployment numbers, and others lost their job, and that took the numbers back up. So we're still not at full capacity as far as work is concerned. Some businesses closed, period. They could not withstand the financial loss that they had. I know it was Pizza Hut that was filing bankruptcy, and some more of them. Okay, some businesses filed bankruptcy. I just said that. You can see the dentist now, but you have to make an appointment, and they do space out the appointments, so you be prepared for that and call ahead of time so that you can get your spot. In the past 3 months, you couldn't get one at all. Okay. Depression set in for some because they were locked in, or they didn't know how they was going to survive. The cost of food was going up, and depression is still going on now because people are still locked in at different stages, and the whole shutdown is still really not fully operating, so that people are really depressed about that. Lots of people are not paying their car payment, and you can't blame them, because you got to worry about the roof over your head and food and stuff like that before you worry about the car payment. Money got cut off, so you know that's something that maybe they'll have to consider how they can negotiate that to catch up, or maybe the car payment just has to go. People are now visiting others, saying hello with caution. And in the past 3 months, they wasn't doing that because they didn't want to give the sickness to anyone, or them to get sick. Also, people are not paying some people are not paying their mortgage and their rent due to a lack of funds, and so there's a big problem there. And maybe the stimulus bailout will help with rent or mortgage. The the number of infections going on nationwide is back on the rise. Some states, the numbers are very high. And the numbers, they thought the numbers would go down by now, but the numbers are going up in some states. Okay, so just be aware of that. We might be on our second round right now. I don't know. Some beaches opened up, they had no masks on, and the end result of that is those beaches in those states, the people, that's where the numbers are going up on the rise. Toilet paper is back on the shelf. Yay! I remember we was frantically running around trying to find toilet paper. That was something. I never knew toilet paper was so important until this time. Paper towels is back on the shelf. Yay! The beef is back in the supermarket, and the chicken. Although the prices of the beef goes up and down, I see. But at least you can see it on the shelf. I remember going in my grocery store, and they had a whole section just closed down where the meat would be. That's how bad it got. And this is a pretty big grocery store, okay? The grocery store hours have increased, okay? Not to the capacity that it was, but it definitely have increased. I remember my grocery store was closing down at 6 p.m. Now they're staying open to 8 p.m. Okay? The daycare has opened back up. I remember when the kids was home, and because the daycare was closed, so now the daycare, they can only go so many days, and they got a split shift, and so the parents have to work with that. I imagine that got to be a burden on parents, because you know, if you got to go to work, how does that work where you have these different days that the kids go and different days they don't, and the split shift and all of that. Other things that I have noticed is more traffic on the road. You know, during the epidemic, you could pretty much drive down the street without any traffic, but now the traffic has picked up, I noticed. And I also noticed more people on the street, which is another good thing. Also, people told me that due to the epidemic, others have gotten an increase in their SNAP program, they said, which is really good, because people was really stressed and worried how they were going to feed their kids. I have some friends that would drive to schools and pick up school lunch. That, you know, you was in a long line, and the child had to be with you in the car, and they could go and pick up the school lunches, the bag lunches, and so that was really good. Also, you still cannot go, I still cannot go to my doctor's office. They said starting next week that they're going to let people come in by appointments, but up until now, I still couldn't go inside my doctor's office. So this has been 4 months. Can you imagine that? 4 months and you can't go inside the doctor's office? So that is a big concern for everybody. I know some people that are supposed to get like regular treatment. They haven't gotten that in 4 months because they couldn't go inside the hospital because of the infection that's going on nationwide. And other things that I didn't even really think about, like I didn't know a laundromat was an essential business. So now that I know that that's an essential business, I'll look at that different from now on. I didn't really think about that, and that does make sense because, you know, people need to wash their clothes and that sort of thing. Also, you know, the gas prices had went way down during the epidemic, and I noticed that the gas has went back up a few cents. So that was actually good, except none of us was going anywhere. So how much benefit was the gas really? You know what I mean? So overall, I think another thing that increased was we watched the TV more to hear the news about what's going on with the epidemic in the past 4 months. Probably we watched it more than any other time, just so that we could be aware of what's going on and how serious it is. Other things that we haven't been getting is we haven't been getting a medical report lately in regards to what's going on with the epidemic on from the White House, and that's something that people really want to continue, because you know we have concerns about this stuff, you know. So overall, no one that I know personally had to deal with the epidemic, thank God. And I haven't experienced it myself, thank God. So I'm just going to tell everybody to make sure you stay on your vitamin C and anything that builds your immune system, so that you can make sure you have something in your system to fight against the epidemic. Okay, and try to do the best you can. Definitely wear your mask. You need to wear your mask to protect yourself and your family, because we're not out of this yet, okay? And make sure the kids wear their masks, and just try to stay safe and do the best you can, okay? All right, so with that note, I think that I have definitely went down memory lane on this epidemic. If you have some news or something that I didn't mention, give me a comment so others can see the comment, and then also maybe others will have something to say that they went through. Okay, so alright, until next time, give it a thumbs up, share the video, and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.